Warning, this video shows an extremely expensive and miserable cooking failure. Hello, thank you for checking out my channel. Today it is Christmas and I received a very special Christmas gift. I always wanted one of these, and today this one is mine. This is a traditional French terrine mold, and I always wanted to have one of these. Years ago, I worked in a French restaurant in Palm Beach, and I've seen one of these there, and I never thought that I can own a terrine mold like this one day. And this Christmas, I was able to find one. This is a traditional French terrine mold that is used for pâtés, and today we'll be making a foie gras terrine, and as you can see, I have this fine duck liver here, and this is actually a vintage terrine. It's called Le Creuset number 28, and the number refers to the length of the terrine, which is 28 centimeters, and this seems to be the classic French standard for this terrine. To me, the terrine of foie gras has always been something very special, and it's a classical French preparation. And this Christmas I'll be making a terrine of foie gras, and I already show you the duck liver, and we are going to be using a very simple recipe, and I'm going to show you how I make the terrine, and then we're gonna try the foie gras and we'll see how it came out. So we have very simple ingredients. Of course, the duck liver, and we need some salt and pepper, a little bit of nutmeg, port wine, and I don't know if you can see here on camera, but this is gelatin sheets, and of course the terrine mold where everything will go, and it's gonna be amazing. All right, so the first thing that we need to do is to soak the duck liver in warm water for about 2 hours, because right now the duck liver is firm to the touch, and we need to make it soft in order to remove the veins. And as you can see here, I have this bowl of water, and the temperature measures 95 degrees, which is perfect for the job. And we're just going to place the duck liver inside and let it stay there for 2 hours. Okay, so it's been 1 hour and the liver has been soaking here, and this is what it looks like, and it has become soft. So when the time is up, it's gonna be easy to work with. Meanwhile, it's time to work on the gelatin. What I have here is a bowl of cold water, so I'm just going to soak the gelatin sheets in the cold water, and then we're going to dissolve them in the port wine, and I'll get back to this when the gelatin becomes soft. All right, so the gelatin has become soft, and I'm just gonna take it out of the water, and we're gonna squeeze the excess water out of it. Let's see what it looks like. We're gonna squeeze the water, and we're gonna put it right here. And this is my port, and I'm just going to fill this cup with port. All right. And we're just going to mix the gelatin in and allow it to dissolve in the port wine. All right, so the next thing that we need to do is to pull the duck liver out of the water and open it up and remove the veins. So as you can see, I have some paper towel here on the bottom, and I'm gonna put some paper towel on the top so we can dry it up and see how it looks like. So we're gonna just open it like this, and we have the two parts of the liver. I'm just gonna remove this part, and I can feel how it's connected with veins, and we're just trying to remove the veins. You see that's a vein here. You see that? We're just gonna pull these out of the liver as much as possible without breaking it too much. So it's not really difficult. You basically have to gently open up the liver and remove the veins. And after we remove as many veins as possible, we simply have to season the foie gras with salt, pepper, and nutmeg. The next thing that I'm going to do is put the duck liver inside the terrine, and my duck liver is seasoned very nicely. I'm just gonna put it in like this. Inside the terrine mold it goes. Oh la la, it smells so delicious already. Okay. The next step is to put the port with the gelatin inside the terrine mold. I'm just gonna pour it over like this. And I think that should be enough. Now, the duck liver with the spices and the port wine are inside the terrine. All we have to do is close the terrine and refrigerate overnight. All right, so 24 hours later, I'm taking the terrine out of the refrigerator and I'm gonna leave it at room temperature for about an hour. Meanwhile, I am preheating the oven to 350 degrees, and this is what the terrine looks like. And when the oven reaches the temperature at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, we're going to put the terrine inside. After that, it's pretty simple. You just set a timer for 30 minutes and turn off the oven, and the heat inside is enough to cook the terrine. After the 30 minutes, you just take it out of the oven and you see what it looks like. After that, I'm going to let the terrine cool off and I'm going to refrigerate it overnight. All right, it's day number 3 of my foie gras terrine preparation, and I have to admit something. I think that my terrine was a complete failure, and this is what it looks like, and at a first glance, it looks fine, but I think that I failed because a number of things went wrong. Now, if you look here, you will notice how much the duck liver shrank. And I don't think the duck liver is supposed to shrink that much. I think I overcooked it, and that's why it released all that fat. So the major mistake that I made is that when I pulled the terrine out of the oven and measured the internal temperature, it was about 84 degrees Fahrenheit. And I made a capital mistake because of one simple rule, that once when you pull something out of the heat, it continues to raise in temperature. Not to mention that the terrine is made out of cast iron, and that thing preserves temperature for a long time. And I put the terrine back in the oven after I measured 84 degrees, and by the time I gave it another 5 minutes, when I pulled it out, it was reading 140 degrees. And this is why I think that I failed. But this is what it looks like. I will dip it now in hot water. I'll try to release it from the mold, and let's see how we did. So, releasing the terrine from the mold was more difficult than I thought. I dipped it in the hot water for a little bit, then I wiped the bottom so I don't get water on the cutting board, and then I tapped it. I tried to release it a couple of times, and after a couple of failed attempts, I had to put even hotter water in that bread baking pan there so I can release the terrine, and it finally happened. And here I am on the final attempt to release the terrine, and it did release. And look at the mess that I created. At this moment, I was so upset and disappointed. I really didn't know what to do with myself. I mean, the mess was horrible. That liquid went all over the kitchen counter, and frankly, the terrine looked pretty ugly. So at this point, I decided to cut a slice off of the center of the terrine because this is where most of the foie gras was concentrated. And now it was time to try it and see if it tasted as bad as it looked. After slicing the terrine and putting it on the plate, it actually looked somewhat presentable. We achieved the so-called rustic look, and this is done by not pressing the duck liver in the mold. Oh my God, I am so embarrassed. This was my worst cooking failure that I ever achieved. It looks like we'll be able to try the terrine, but I think it went totally wrong. Everything went wrong, and the terrine looks horrible. It doesn't look nice and square like you see one in a French restaurant. So let's see how it tastes. All right, so I have this wonderful New York bread. I have my terrine failure here, and I have some fig jam, and let's try the terrine. Let's see if it's edible. I am so embarrassed. This is a complete failure. Let me put some of this jam here. Let's see. make it look nice. Okay, the bread. Can't wait to try the terrine failure. All right, we're gonna put this on some bread, and this is the terrine, and I'm just going to take a slice and put it on here and get some of that fig jam. And let's see. It's definitely edible. Let me try one more piece here. We got some of that duck fat. Wow. The flavor is so unique. I can't compare this to anything else. Oh my God, look at that. Terrine of foie gras. Very interesting. This is it. Oh my God, this was the worst failure of my cooking career ever. I have never failed so miserably in my life. This was absolutely horrible. When I flipped the terrine, it was so funny. The mold made a farting sound and all the liquid came out, and I made a huge mess in the kitchen. It's probably gonna take me hours to clean here. I did enjoy eating the foie gras. It's definitely very unique flavor, nothing that I've ever experienced before. And that is all for today. If you ever are planning to make a terrine of foie gras, if you have never made it, I hope that you learn from this video that it might be a failure and definitely an expensive mistake for me. I bought the Le Creuset mold on eBay, and that was worth $200, and a 2-pound duck liver like this where I live retails for about $150. So it was very, very, very expensive mistake, an expensive failure, but I am happy because I get to learn from it, and I hope that you learn from my mistakes as well. And I hope to see you again in my next video, where hopefully I'm gonna be able to create something a little bit more appealing and pleasing to the eye, and delicious, of course. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I will respond. Please subscribe to my channel. Give it a thumbs up if you laughed as much as I did. This was crazy, ridiculous failure. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye. I mean, look at that thing. This is definitely the ugliest, most unappealing thing I have ever created. And I deserve an award for it. It's absolutely horrible. I'll never clean this up.